as Grayson Greiner, one of the best catchers to ever put the uniform. He knows his ballpark inside and out. Joins us now here about 3.5 hours from first pitch. We are driven by Love Chevrolet, lovechevy.com. Grayson, happy opening day, brother.
Yep, happy opening day, guys. It's I'm looking at the live feed y'all got right there, and I'm getting a little jealous. I'm sitting up in my office, and I wish I was out there right now. So happy opening day.
Well, so I was texting. I'm going to out you here, dude. I was texting with Grayson last week. I think it was last week about coming on today. And I was like, hey, yeah, can you come on next Friday? And he was like, oh, is that opening day? Sorry, dude. I've been so invested in basketball. You're one of Gamecock basketball's top fans right now. They're killing it.
I am. I mean, I'm any sport for Carolina, but I don't know. For some reason, when the basketball team is doing well here, it feels there's a little more energy in the city, I feel like. Yeah. And I really love what Coach Paris is doing and what those guys are doing. So obviously baseball will always be number one, but we're getting close to March Madness, and it's been 5 years since we got to follow a team into the month of March. So
7 years.
7 years. Oh my God. Yeah. Time's flying. Yeah. 2017. Athletic department's kind of rocking and rolling right now. And you can kind of see that this fan base is getting behind all the sports. Now baseball starts. So it's we're rolling into the next one.
Yeah, Grayson, we're bringing John Whittle in on this. We've got to bring the experts in I told him we were having Grayson Greiner, and he said, okay, I'll be in there.
He's probably like, who's that guy?
Got to be in there for Greiner. So I was talking, I want to go a couple different angles with you, and John, you jump in wherever you can, because I know you got some good questions. We were talking to Landon earlier, and Landon was joking about how back in the day, this was known as catcher U. They took a lot of pride in being good behind the plate. Ryan Bordenick and Brandon Pack and Landon, and then you just keep naming them. Grayson Greiner. So Cole Messina is the leader of the team, no question. We've talked to King about that. He doesn't hesitate. He's like, oh, it's Cole Messina. Yeah. I feel like we've really watched him evolve over the last couple of years. But one of the things that I want to talk about catching. Actually, everybody talks about his bat. Let's talk about what happens behind the plate. One of the things that you were so good at was handling a staff, understanding who was on the mound, and maybe being able to get in front of some things sometimes before they started blowing up out there. What have you seen out of Cole Messina and how he has developed back there behind home plate?
I mean, it's been awesome to watch. He didn't play much his first year, and then last year just kind of came onto the scene as if he had been the guy his first year. I think I worked a little catching clinic in his hometown in Somerville after his freshman year. Kind of asked him what he thought about the upcoming season, which would have been his sophomore season, his breakout year, and he just had a quiet confidence about him. As a catcher, there's a lot of different ways you can lead as a catcher. I wasn't the most vocal guy. I don't know if Cole's the most vocal guy. I don't know him that well, but I know him fairly well. But you can just kind of see that the team rallies around him. I tell all the kids I give lessons to, we're the only position on the field where we got 8 people looking at us, and we're looking out at 8 people. So your body language is huge. You can't be a guy that if you're 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, that the team notices that you're 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. You have to look the exact same the whole time. I think Cole maybe wears his emotions on his sleeve a little more than I did. You can see how much he fires up his teammates and leads his teammates that way. So excited for him. So excited to watch him lead this team. And I feel like, I don't know if this is true. I feel like if you ask a lot of coaches, if your catcher is one of your best leaders, I feel like that's a good sign for your upcoming season. So I'm sure Coach Kingston would say the same thing about Cole.
Yeah, Grayson, great to see you again.
You too, man.
Put that a little closer.
Move this a little.
So they can hear you.
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I wanted your perspective. I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but I know that you caught a ton of games your last year here. What's the mindset take? What does the body take? What is it? What does it do? What does Cole have to do to catch maybe every game this year or close to it?
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I don't remember what the numbers were exactly. I do remember, having a talk with Coach Holbrook, and we just kind of had a heart to heart. He said, "You're probably going to catch every weekend game, most midweek games, and if you need a break, let me know." But knowing Cole a little bit the way I do, I don't think he's going to ask for a single day off ever. He's a little more of an offensive catcher than I was, and he's great defensively. So even if he gets a blow on that from catching, I'm sure he'll be in the DH role that day. So I think it's just kind of a preparation thing. Cold tubs, massages, whatever you got to do. The catching position takes a toll on the body. So just making sure you're staying on top of those things. I can't even imagine 10 years ago we had great, athletic trainers and facilities and recovery equipment. I can't even imagine what it is now 10, 12 years later. So those guys are going to be prepared every day in, day out. So I'm sure Cole's going to take the precautions he needs. And he doesn't strike me as the guy that's going to be like, I don't want to catch today. I feel like he's going to be out there every day that Coach Kingston allows him to.
I don't think clearly my career didn't go where Grayson Greiner's did or Landon Powell's or Cole Messina's right now. But dude, when I played, I hated it if I wasn't in the lineup. Well, we're going to give you a day off. I don't want a day off, or a double header. Well, you catch the first and we'll let so-and-so catch this. I don't want him to catch the second game. There was an ownership, you know what I mean, Grayson? No, that's my staff. I don't want someone else catching them. I'm the only one that can block his slider. He ain't throwing it worth a damn. I'm the only one that can funnel it back to the plate. I don't know what it is, but you're right. If you don't have that mentality back there, you really aren't probably going to be very good.
Yeah, when they were doing the Super Bowl broadcast last week, I heard it was the last drive that Mahomes was driving down the field, and they panned over to Brock Purdy, and I think it was Tony Romo said the worst feeling in the world is when you're sitting there watching and there's nothing you can do about it, and that's if you're not playing that day, you're sitting on the bench watching, and there's nothing you can do about it. So having that taken away from you to where you can't help your team or you can't really control the outcome of the game, it's not as fun. Two, you don't really feel like you're a part of anything. So like I said, he's going to want to be out there every single day, just like you said.
Did you ever see Holbrook yell at him?
I don't think so.
Holbrook ever chew you out for anything?
I'm trying to think. Grayson was always a good kid.
Yeah.
Behind closed doors, maybe. Coach Tanner did it out in front of people. So.
Yeah. He didn't care about that. It's totally.
Now, there were some teammates who weren't always on their P's and Q's like Grayson Greiner, but I think Grayson pretty much did what he was supposed to.
Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with that story.
There may have been an outside slider or two Holbrook yelled at you about for swinging at, but that may have been it, right?
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, it's a slider, man.
It's the boogeyman.
Yeah, it's hard. it ain't easy.
Coach Holbrook is obviously he's a dear friend. I have no problem admitting that, and we have him on our show every week for a reason. Have you heard it? Have you listened to his new podcast? Chin Music.
I'm gonna have to. I saw him probably 2 months ago and got to catch up with him. I'm going out to Charleston next month, so I'm gonna see if he wants to grab breakfast. But no, I haven't listened to it. I saw he's playing the guitar now, so that's that's interesting.
He is. If he wants to grab breakfast, you're gonna end up at Paige's Okra Grill. That's the only place he goes every day. He's there every day.
I'll just surprise him.
Just show up. But he's got a podcast. It's called Chin Music. It's really good. He just had Jackie on and he just had Witt on.
Oh, nice.
But he's had like Charles Eston on. He's got Mia Hamm coming on soon. I mean, he's hitting. He knows everybody. He's hitting all the big wigs. But it's so funny just knowing Coach Holbrook. I don't see him as that coach who you're like, oh God, I don't want to even walk. You have a bat at bat. You popped up with. 1 out or grounded into a double play with the bases loaded, something stupid. And you don't want to walk by coach like that. You don't want to walk by Coach Tanner. I feel like Coach Holbrook, I don't know that he would be that intimidating. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong though.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of different coaching styles that all can be effective. I love playing for Coach Tanner. I love playing for Coach Holbrook. I mean, they're two of the best coaches I ever played for in my entire life. And like you said, it's just completely different styles. Coach Holbrook was very positive, always pumped you up if you had a bad at bat or if you made an error. He's pumping you up. And Coach Tanner was a little more tough love and like you said, chew you out. And both were effective. Both great coaches, won a lot of games and at some high level schools. And but yeah, like you said, I mean, Coach Holbrook never publicly chewed me out. We had some discussions in the locker room that remain private, but I love two of my favorite people in the world, and I love playing for both of them.
So, opening day at South Carolina versus opening day in the big leagues, is there a difference?
No snow in South Carolina. There was snow in Detroit opening day of 2021, blizzard. Yeah, we played. Miguel Cabrera hit a home run against Shane Bieber, and we won 2-1, I think. So that was
what?
That was fun. But opening day at any level. I mean, my son's T-ball season starts next Saturday, and we have an opening day celebration. It's just something you do to start off a baseball season. It's America's pastime. So the festivities and the pageantry, camaraderie, everything about opening day is just a special day. And the park y'all have right there on the live feed, that's about as good of a park for opening day as there is in the country, in my opinion. Probably the best, in my opinion. I might be a little biased, but it's a great day. You see the bunting out on the railings, and fans are getting there early. I hope the fans get there early to celebrate Tommy Moody. I've heard they're doing some festivities for him, which he deserves that and more. So just going to be an awesome day, and hopefully we take care of business on the field.
Yeah, the Tommy Moody, Grayson, we talked earlier to Coach Lake about this community of Gamecock Baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And it really is a neat fraternity because, it's like when something happens or somebody needs something or whatever it is, everybody kind of goes to bat for them. But I think one of the neat things, and Tommy was certainly a part of this, and I know you got to know Tommy. Of course, he called probably almost all of your games, if not all of them. One of the neat things about being at the University of South Carolina is how Coach Tanner was really big about this, right? About connecting the past to the present and then to the future, which at some point in time would become the present. That he was great about bringing all these generations together. And John, you've seen this over the years. I mean, when you show up to the ballpark, you'll have somebody who played in the 70s and the 80s standing over here talking to a Grayson Greiner, or talking to a Reese Havens or whoever. It's really unique at how things connect so well over 40, 50, 60 years of Carolina baseball. And I know that a lot of these guys, you weren't even born when they all played and things like that. But once you play here, once you're involved in this community, you can never leave it.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, for me personally, I think it's even more special and important because I grew up 5 minutes from the ballpark. My earliest memories are going to Sarge Fry when I was 4 or 5 years old, and I've been going to games there my entire life. So I feel like I take a huge pride and responsibility to, like you said, build those relationships, keep those relationships going. It's not that special if you come here for 3-4 years and you never talk to anybody again, you never come back. But no. I had lunch with Blake Taylor 2 weeks ago, and I never played with Blake. He asked me to lunch. We went and got lunch, and he was an All-American closer. So to have guys like that reaching out to you to want to hang out, I'm 30 years old. He's probably 40 years old, just to hang out when we're done playing, talk about life, family, kids. It makes you feel a part of something to where you're not, it's not, like I said, it's not a one-off thing where you're here for a couple of years and you never talk to anybody. My best friends in the world, I'm in a bowling league with Joey Pancake and Joel Seddon right now. Yeah. So we're hanging out every Wednesday night, and those relationships are really special, and lifelong memories.
I was going to ask you about the bowling league. I knew you were a part of that. I was going to see how things were going. What's our team name again?
I don't think we came up with a team. I think we're team 8 this year. We didn't make a team, but I got to shout out this guy named Josh. We were playing last week. He bowled back-to-back 300s.
What?
His first game was his first ever 300, and then he did it again. So he had 24 straight strikes.
Are you kidding?
No, we looked up the odds. They said the odds of an amateur bowler doing that are 1 in 16 million. And then we got to see every single one of them. It was the coolest. It was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. So I had to drop that in there.
Does he like want to be in the pro bowling league, or
he might after that? I mean, he was probably already the best bowler in the league. There's probably 60 to 80 bowlers in the league. He was the best one, but he said he'd never bowled a 300 before, and he did it back-to-back games. It was so cool.
That is nuts.
Sorry, it's a little off topic, but
so who's the best between you and Pancake and Joel? Who's carrying the load here?
This is my first year in the league. They said last year Joey was almost a scratch bowler, like he was averaging close to a 200. He's had a tough season. He's down to like a plus 20. Sorry for calling him out. I think I'm like a plus 26, and Joel's about a plus 24. So we're kind of all right in the 175, 180 average range.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, we're having a good season.
Good. Yeah, for sure.
Sounds like you need to go write a story on this.
Good way to get the competitive juices flowing.
Yeah, well, there's probably other juices flowing, which means I will probably get some good quotes out there too.
No, we have a good time.
Video, that might be fun.
That would another neat little nugget, and I didn't know this, Grayson, until I spent some time at Bill Goss's Clemson Carolina party the night before the game back in the fall. So I spent a bunch of time with Jeff Grants that night. I've never met Jeff Grants, and we sit there, and Jeff's had a couple drinks, and we're talking about all kinds of stuff, and all kinds of guys that we know in common. And then Greiner's name comes up, and I said, "Well, I've gotten to know Grayson over the years. Outstanding kid, loved watching him play." He said, "I knew him when he was running around in poopy diapers."
Yeah,
and I said,
"He was our neighbor." Yep.
So is he still your parents' neighbor now?
No,
today?
But I mean they live close. But I mean I've called him Uncle Meat my whole life. I don't know where that name comes from. I just know him as Uncle Meat. Our houses backed up to each other when I was growing up. I guess him and my dad crossed paths a little bit at Carolina and became really good friends for like the last 30, 40 years. So I see him often, and he's the best.
When you were playing here, was he hard on you, or was he? What was that like?
No, always supportive. When I went on to my pro career, always supportive. If I, was going through a tough time or something, he would always call me a couple times a year to see how things are going and check up on me and say he's proud of me or whatever. But he's a really close family friend.
Yeah, Jeff Grants is a great guy and one of the best athletes ever played at South Carolina.
Yeah. You don't. I didn't really know it growing up, and then I got older and could understand. He was unbelievable.
Yeah, you won't see that again. Doing what he did at that level, like at that high of a level. Final question, we'll get you out of here, my man. So I think what's one of the neat things about Grayson, and it just doesn't always work out this way, especially in this world of transfer portal and all that. Everybody can't wait to go and do, this guy's going to offer me more money, or this guy's going to offer me more playing time. And there's never really any loyalty. But you grew up a Gamecock fan. Like Coach Lake says, I was a fan before I was anything. And so you really, like, there's very few people like this in the world. You lived your dream. Mm-hmm. I mean, you wanted to play baseball at South Carolina. You played baseball at South Carolina very well enough to go in the draft and catch in the big leagues. I mean, do you ever take time to stop and look back at what you've achieved and either give yourself a hug or pat yourself on the back, or do you ever pinch yourself and
not really. I feel like I didn't have the career I wanted to have, honestly. I had very lofty goals, and I reached a lot of those goals, but I didn't think I had the college career or the pro career I really envisioned when I was growing up. But I think I'm just very lucky that I was able to be born in Columbia, play at my dream school that my dad and grandfather played at, get to live in Columbia the rest of my life, hopefully. My wife asked me one day, like, probably when we first started dating, like, are you set on staying in Columbia, or you want to go somewhere else? I I've never even thought about leaving Columbia. It hadn't even crossed my mind. It's just where I want to be able to cheer on all the Gamecock teams, take my kids to the games, as many games as possible, and just kind of have the childhood I had. My parents took me to every Gamecock game I could think of, and it's just what's in our blood. So to answer your question, I don't really ever think about it. I feel very lucky to be in one amazing place and raise a family here.
Well, you're doing that. There's no doubt. We'll let you run, man. I hope to see you here at the ballpark pretty soon.
Oh yeah, I'll be there a bunch.
Oh yeah, we know, and it's not hard to find Grayson. I mean, he's 6'6".
He's often, correct me if I'm wrong, hanging around with Jack Winecoop, who is in Columbia now too.
Yeah.
So you can see those two twin towers walking from a mile away.
Looks like security.
We might be a little too skinny for that.
Hey man, thanks so much. I know that you'll be dialed into hoops this weekend, and of course with opening day. But we're always glad to have you on. Great stuff, and happy for you and your wife, and being dad and all that stuff. Now you got a lot going on, so
I appreciate it.
So
thank you guys for having me on, and keep up the good work. Love what y'all are doing.
Always, man. You got it. Thanks, Grayson.
Thanks, man.
One of the best we've ever seen catch back here, huh, John Whittle?
Absolutely.
He can play.
I didn't realize he was 6'6".
Yeah, he's a tall. He might be 6'5", but what? At 6'5" and 6'6".
He's 6'6". He's the only person I've ever met who wanted to be listed shorter than he actually was on the roster, because there's a stigma about being a big catcher. Like, he was 6'6", and he wanted to be listed at least 6'5".